When I was a senior in high school, my then girlfriend was getting a car for her birthday. And her dad and I kind of conspired to do this big reveal with the car in the driveway. And so I was walking her out to the driveway and I said under my breath, please don't forget about me. And I said it with this stupid puppy dog face. I can see this. When I was a
Why do some men feel intimidated by their women's success? Once their girlfriend, their wives, the woman that they are in, this is in their life, is getting successful, she's making money, she's buying this, she's having that, they always feel intimidated. They always feel like, okay, now that you have all of this, now that you're getting successful, I have, a tiny little feeling that you're going to leave me someday. Let me show you this video of this man saying that he usually feel that way until he realized that it was because he had daddy issues.
senior in high school, my then girlfriend was getting a car for her birthday. And her dad and I kind of conspired to do this big reveal with the car in the driveway. And so I was walking her out to the driveway and I said under my breath, please don't forget about me. And I said it with this stupid puppy dog face. I can see this like it was yesterday. This puppy dog face. I was genuinely scared. I was terrified that she was going to get this car and leave me and find her best life, leave my ass in the dust. And looking back, she felt so conflicted. On the one hand, this is one of the biggest days of her life, in a young person's life. Getting a car, it's a big deal. On the other hand, she felt the need to placate me and maybe hide some of her enthusiasm because I was terrified and jealous. So when I look back on other relationships like that, because it became a pattern in other relationships as well, other girls, where I would be threatened in her enthusiasm. Great news at work, a good act that she did, something that bolstered her confidence. Like that would be a threat to me, and I would be jealous and resentful. And I look back on one of the biggest root causes is from my father. When I was growing up, he never wanted to be around. When he was, it was malicious. It was impatient. It was tense. He wanted to be gone all the time. And he would always be happier when he was leaving to chase whatever high, girls, drugs, whatever. And so I equated me as somebody who was not a home. People don't come to me for home. They leave me to feel better elsewhere. And it breaks my heart looking back on it because it's such a terrible trauma response to put that burden on other people. But it took me several years for me to figure that crap out. And so I bring this up because I want to talk to two people here. First, I want to talk to the person who does get that jealous and does get that sinking feeling like when somebody else gets good news, they're going to leave you. I get it. I was immersed in low self-worth and low self-love for the vast majority of my life. And I can tell you right now, it's imperative that you have to seek help because there is a better way to live. You don't have to be a prisoner to your ego's clinging to that sense of safety. I know it sounds paradoxical, but you feel safe in feeling like the victim and feeling like somebody's going to leave you because you're always going to be justified. You're always going to be justified because everybody is going to leave you. It's self-fulfilling. So it's like, oh, this makes sense. People just leave me. There is a better way to live. And the other person, the person dealing with that jealous person, I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't get better. It does not get better. You cannot legislate peace in somebody else's heart. You cannot legislate confidence and self-worth, no matter how much you love this person, because those girls loved me even harder, and it does not work. So I hope you hear the message and what I'm trying to say here.
You always feel jealous when you know that a friend of yours is successful, is making it at a point, and you feel jealous, you feel intimidated, you feel a certain kind of way in a bad feeling. I just feel like you need help. Because if your friend is making it, or you're in a relationship with somebody and they're making it and you feel a certain kind of way, I feel like you need help. You need to go to therapy. You need real help. I have a reaction on this video, so let's watch this video together and I'll see you at the end of the videos.
So I was chilling with my cousins, right? And we're all having a big discussion, both guys and girls. And this question came up. I feel like it's a question a lot of women, especially Gen Z women, ask because they're sort of getting into the workforce. Some are building businesses. And I feel like it's a question, too, a lot of men do not answer honestly, right? So we're living in a generation where men are experiencing something new at scale, right? For the first time in so many societies, women are out earning men, right? Women are leading companies, women are leading governments, women are dominant in certain social spaces. And the truth is that men were not just trained for that sort of dynamic. And here's something women need to understand without taking personally, right? Most men were taught their value comes from providing, from being ahead and, being needed. So once they meet a woman that doesn't have any use, for that, men do not necessarily know where to fit. And that confusion can show up as insecurity, it can show up as competition, it can show up as resentment. And it's not because, women did anything wrong. It's just that men were not taught or were prepared, for this sort of reality. And now women are more used to dating up, right? So they can meet a man who is richer, who is smarter, who is more powerful, and to them it can almost be exciting, like, oh, what can I learn from this man? Or, oh, I can't wait to see what I'm going to grow into. Right? But men were not socialized that way. It was sort of like, oh, if a woman is ahead of you, then you are behind. That's how, Another thing men don't know how to handle is a lot of successful women are leaders, and that comes with a certain type of personality. Like if a woman runs teams, she handles crisis or she makes decisions daily, you can't just expect her to instantly switch into submission mode because she's in a relationship. It doesn't mean like she's difficult. It just probably means like she's conditioned for her job. And that's the thing. A lot of men were not taught to be in a position to stand beside their woman and, support them. And I feel like the reason why this is such a serious thing in Nigeria now is mainly because a lot of men have tied their masculinity, right, to being able to provide. And now they are dealing with women who do not need provision. And, it now sort of rings a message to their head that, oh, am I a weak man? Am I not doing enough? And that's not really what it is. Like I said, I just feel like the world is in a transition phase.
When I was a senior in high school, my then girlfriend was getting a car for her birthday. And her dad and I kind of conspired to do this big reveal with the car in the driveway. And so I was walking her out to the driveway and I said under my breath, please don't forget about me. And I said it with this stupid puppy dog face. I can see this like it was yesterday. This puppy dog face. I was genuinely scared. I was terrified that she was going to get this car and leave me and find her best life, leave my ass in the dust. And looking back, she felt so conflicted. On the one hand, this is one of the biggest days of her life, in a young person's life. Getting a car, it's a big deal. On the other hand, she felt the need to placate me and maybe hide some of her enthusiasm because I was terrified and jealous. So when I look back on other relationships like that, because it became a pattern in other relationships as well, other girls, where I would be threatened in her enthusiasm. Great news at work, a good act that she did, something that bolstered her confidence, like that would be a threat to me, and I would be jealous and resentful. And I look back on one of the biggest root causes is from my father. When I was growing up, he never wanted to be.
A lot of men will not want to see you accomplish a goddamn thing in life because they fear the fact that they may get abandoned. They will see you get your college degree. They will see you buy your first home. They will see you get a brand new car, and automatically they will deem it as a threat because they now see that they would be in competition with your happiness. And they are going to be afraid that they're going to get abandoned just like how their father abandoned them. Most men struggle in relationships with women because a lot of them have daddy wounds and a lot of them have abandonment wounds from their father not wanting to be a part of their life. A lot of men are struggling with the fact that even if their father was under the same household as them, they didn't want to talk to their son. They didn't want to be involved with their son. They did not want to be active with their son. So when these men get into a relationship with women, anything that you do that makes you happy reminds them of the fact that their father chose alcohol over them. Their father chose gambling over them. Their father chose another family over him. That is what's getting mirrored in your behavior that he is feeling intimidated by and that he's feeling threatened by. A lot of men want you to shrink yourself down. That way they don't have to feel the uncomfortable feeling of revisiting the abandonment wounds that they have from their father. I honestly believe that about 90% of men are struggling from abandonment wounds from their father. This is the reason why when they see that women don't behave in a certain way that they want us to, they claim that we're the ones with trauma. When in reality, it's a projection like most things with men. They're the ones with trauma. You would never want someone to shrink someone down because you should care more about that person being happy. The last thing that you should care about is if that person's going to abandon you or not, simply because they're doing something to make you happy. This is the reason why men don't want you to be educated. They don't want you to have any life experience. They don't want you to have fine dining, prioritize luxury, go on, go travel or solo travel or be a part of hobbies or extracurricular activities. They don't want to be in competition with something that they fear you would choose over them. Even with children, this is why a lot of men tend to act differently after the woman that they're with has a baby, because they fear, and they actually do see that they're now being abandoned because the woman has no choice but to choose the baby over them. And instead of them deciding to be active and present with the child, that way it frees up more time for the mother. They just are upset over the fact that you're choosing a live human who can't even hold their head up, who can't even feed themselves, who can't even clean up after themselves after they go use the bathroom. And they feel intimidated and jealous by it because they are constantly having to revisit an abandonment wound. As women, it is not our job to shrink ourselves down and to coddle the feelings of men because they refuse to do the internal work of going to therapy to get down to the root of their abandonment issues that their father caused them.
Imagine husband and wife being together, and the wife did not really have money, so the husband that had money, and later on in the years, the wife start making it. She starts having, some dollars. And probably later on, you start seeing probably the relationship did not work out anymore. The marriage, they got divorced. The next thing people are going to say is, oh, everything changed when the woman had money. Everything changed, or when she had money, that was when we know that we're no longer compatible. That once a woman has money, once a woman is successful, she does not, she changed the certain kind of way. They kind of see women as successful, like you don't need a man. So once a woman is successful, she's always proud, and that is when she starts saying some BS that the man is showing. I just feel like the way some men actually feel intimidated of some women's success, to me, you need help. Really, you need help, because if a woman really, really loves you and you don't have problem with it, you will enjoy even from her success. That's one thing men supposed to know. But you always jealous and intimidated when your wife buys a car, or your girlfriend got a new car, or she got an apartment, or I just feel like you need real help. And I feel like it's because most of these men feel like there's nothing they can offer you as a man unless they are, providing for you financially. They feel like if I am not, or if you don't need my help financially, definitely I don't know how to make this girl happy. If they know that you can do this, you're doing this by yourself, you have your money to do everything, they really don't know what else they can do for you, because in their brain, they're already like, okay, I'm supposed to provide for this woman financially, but then she has more than me. So how am I supposed to impress her financially if she's making her money by herself and she's okay, doing very well by herself? So they feel that kind of they're very useless to you. They feel like they're useless to you. There's nothing they can do for you because you are okay financially. There was a video of a woman saying that women make your money. When you make your money, you realize that you do not need any man in your life. You realize that you do not need any man in your life, because if you make your money, focus on making, instead of you focus on finding a good man, focus on how to keep a man. Just focus on how to make money, daily income. Once you focus on that, you realize that you do not actually need a man. And I feel like these men know that. And that is why once they're in a relationship with you and they see that this way this woman is going, she's going to make money. Oh, let me get her pregnant. Let me trap her down. Or let me stop her from furthering her education. Let me bring up marriage so that we're going to get married, and I'll tell her we're moving to another country, or moving, so I can isolate her. I just feel like these men see it. They know that once a woman is financially okay, there's nothing again. They feel like there's nothing again they can offer you, and you might not need them anymore. They have this like, oh, she's going to leave me once she has money. And that's why they will not want you to work. That's why you see men will tell their wife, I don't want you to work. They'll financially abuse you. They'll take all the money away from you. They'll give you whenever they want to give you. They tell you, don't worry, I'll take care of you, so that you're not going to have your own money. You guys, what is your take on this video? Let me know your thought about this video down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, Sugar Mary Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.